Welcome back to the Surrey Report. I am here in enemy territory
Oh.
with Randy Mann, Remax Performance here in Delta. We're going to be talking about the one thing that us agents generally don't want to talk about.
And we don't want to tell you.
Alrighty, but first, here's my team with the stats.
Starting off with townhomes, our benchmark price is right around $565,500. That's a 0.8% increase year over year and a 0.8% increase month over month.
Surrey combined detached sales were 283 sales for the month of February. We had a benchmark price of approximately $1,062,000. This is up 0.8% for month over month and down 0.5 year over year.
The condo market in Surrey saw 138 sales. It actually went up year over year 1.3% to just over $436,000. It was also actually up 1.6% month over month. All right, Randy.
Yes,
the
Steve.
number one, well, sorry, before we get started,
Okay.
you advertise yourself as Superman.
I do.
Can I be Batman?
I thought we were going to be in a Superman Batman costume for
No,
this.
there's no chance.
But he said no. I was pushing for it, but he said no.
Absolutely no chance.
I like my tights.
I'm not going to. I like you in tights too. All right, the one thing that agents do not like to talk about
Yep.
is each other.
That's right.
Right? We do all of our marketing towards us.
I don't even know who this guy is.
Right? But why do you think that is? Why do you think agents don't like to talk about each other?
Because initially, we don't like to talk about each other because we don't want you to exist in our client's eyes or our potential client's eyes, because we are the only ones out there, the only ones that can do everything, and we are the only ones that are going to sell your home.
Absolutely. Right?
Right.
So we want the business.
We want the business.
That's why it happens. That's why we pretend we don't exist.
Competition.
But let's say, for instance, you called in Randy
Yep.
to evaluate your home, and you called in me
Yep.
to evaluate your home, and you decided to list your home with Randy. Now that's
You
terrible.
would. You would.
Terrible decision.
Of course you would.
Don't do that.
Always listen.
But if you're going to list with Randy, our dirty little secret in this industry is as soon as that property is listed, the marketing's in place, you do all the amazing things that you do as a professional agent,
I might need him.
he might need me.
I probably will need him.
Right? So that's the one thing we don't like to discuss as agents.
That's right.
We're here to represent you as a seller
Correct.
in our marketing in
Correct.
the best we possibly can.
Exactly.
However, the buyer also needs their representation.
They need an agent. So, pushing on that point, we put the best efforts on marketing a home to get it out to them as many buyers as we can. But at the end of the day, an agent like Steve, the Karrasch team, or whoever else will be bringing their buyer to my listing. So that collaboration has to happen. So we compete in the
Exactly.
initial end of it all, and then we collaborate at the end of it all.
It's so strange. We almost want each other to fail at the first set of the process, and then immediately
Succeed.
If I get a listing, I can be on the phone with Randy saying, hey, you know, we got to get this sale together.
Yep.
Do you have a buyer?
Exactly.
So it's really, really, really important. And this has been emphasized, this
Yep.
relationship back and forth, because BC, a couple years ago,
Yep.
a year and a half ago, changed the laws.
They did.
There is no longer limited dual agency. My
That's
question
right.
for you is, do you think our clients and the general public understands that we can no longer represent both the buyer and seller in a transaction?
No. I feel that the council overall has not advertised this well enough to the public. So what Steve's trying to say is that when I'm representing you on the listing side and Steve's representing you on the buyer side, because that's how usually it's going to work, is that the buyer has to have his own agent. I will be representing the seller as their agent, and I cannot represent Steve's buyer. So if Steve's buyer comes straight from open house or gives me a call and says, hey, I would like to put an offer in, I have to make sure that he either has another representative to help him out, or I've got to make sure that he understands that I'm not representing that buyer with my listing at all.
Absolutely. So we can, I always say it's much like going to court,
Yep.
right? You can represent yourself, but we used to have it where you could step across the aisle and almost have one lawyer arguing
Yep.
both sides of the case. That's no longer the case. So we do rely on each other, and it's important for the public to know that. The next question I had for you, well, I think it's important that your agent understands who they're negotiating with on the other side as well.
Yes. Oh, very true.
Because you do have a couple different scenarios. Say, for instance, I mean, the other day I was presenting multiple offers, 8 offers. 6 of the agents showed up in person to present.
Very
I was
good.
able very quickly to understand who the professional agent was.
Yep.
And who maybe didn't have as much experience. Now, negotiating with a professional agent is the way I prefer to go, because I know those clients are going to be pre-qualified.
Yep.
And everything's going to be set up.
Ready to go.
But someone as skilled as Randy here might want to take advantage of a less skilled realtor.
Yep.
You will be able to identify that scenario in
True.
an offer presentation.
Very much so. But again, every scenario is completely different from the other one. Like, I would prefer to have an agent like Steve representing his buyer and presenting me the offer, because I know that we can work together. We both understand the rules and regulations. We understand our clients better, so we know where we can get the deal done. But going and having an offer being sent to you by an agent who is not that experienced, there's a lot of hurdles that you got to go through. From the minor thing of initials and signatures missing to certain clauses that you know that should be in there, but they're not, that can completely ruin the deal.
Change the deal.
Yep.
Absolutely. So we have to rely on each other as professional agents
Yep.
to get your home sold, whether it's you making a terrible decision going with Randy as your listing agent or us as your listing agent. No, just kidding. Anyway, I just think it's a super important conversation that we have to have
Yep.
to know that it's not uncommon for me to pick up the phone as soon as I have a listing and phone someone like Randy and say, hey,
Yep.
Randy, who do you have for this amazing listing that we brought?
And I think a lot of people out there right now in the public, if you guys watch the real estate shows out there, $1 million listings and whatnot, you see how that process works.
Yeah.
You see that one of the agents, the listing agents will come in, they'll take your listing, and right away you see them in their office making phone calls to our brokerages that they know that they've dealt with before or have that buyer for their listing. For example, we're in a multiple offer situation right now where a lot of our homes, our listings, are seeing multiple offers. Last 2 weekends in a row, on average, each one of my listings was 10 to 15 offers on the home.
Yeah.
So now I know that there's if one person wins that offer, I know there's about 9 other buyers out there that can have the chance of getting my next listing. So if I'm going to get a new listing today, and it's very similar to the listing I just sold,
you know exactly
obviously
the 9
I'm
people
going to
you
be right away.
You got people
right away.
calling
I'm going to be
me.
calling those brokers. I'll be calling those agents and say, I got a new listing. It's very similar to the old one. Are your buyers interested? Are they still available?
Amazing collaboration. We just want to get the word out here to my clients and also to Randy's and everybody out there. We do work against each other often.
Yep.
But really, the power in our industry is working together.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you, Randy.
Thank you.
I wish you all the success in being the
You too, my
second
friend.
best agent in Delta from here on out. Until next month, thanks for joining me. I would normally ask my guests how people get in contact with you, but
you don't want
I
to.
don't want them to.
Just look for my name. Google it.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next
Thanks,
month.
Thanks for watching this month. We wanted to let everybody know that we are very proud that our partner, Chris Whitehead, received the John Armineau Professional of the Year Award from the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board. It's an absolutely amazing honor, and we are blessed to have Chris on our team. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, and we'll see you next month.
There was one thing.
Yep.
Come on, get my questions back. It's on Randy's phone because I sent him the stuff in advance. Now I know his password too.
Oh wait, I don't even know my password.
This part out.
Hold on here. Delete. Let's look at this thing again one more time. There we go.
That part's gonna have to.
Holy, look at this.
We were going so good.
Oh, this is awesome. Yeah, we're still good.